The investigative unit with new details about the departure of the warden at Elayn Hunt Correctional Center. The Department of Corrections said it was over his handling of a use of force incident with an inmate. As Bess Casserly and the investigative unit report, DOC originally told us no one was facing any discipline for the incident.
Sylvia, the inmate who is the subject of that use of force incident is Torrance Verdin. He was 15 when he was convicted of murder and sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. He's 20 now and been at Hunt for about 2 years. As his mother tells me, he was beaten by corrections officers after laying on the ground and getting cuffed.
They have to be punished for this.
Torrance Verdin's mother, Elayn, said she was only made aware of what happened to her son when another inmate who witnessed the incident called to let her know he needed medical attention.
They're going to be punished for this.
The inmate told her son was beaten by officers for having a cell phone.
He laid down and said, "I surrender." And they told him, "You don't love your life." And they put him in handcuffs. And they beat him. They beat him.
Elayn says she was told multiple officers were involved.
And they asked the captain and the lieutenant for a blind spot. They was looking for a spot where nobody could see him, where they can beat him or kill him away from the camera.
She was not able to speak to her son until the next day, since he had been placed in investigative segregation.
When I went to see him on Sunday, I went visit him, and it was hard. I was scared. I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. The visit was good, and before I left, I had to watch them carry him because he couldn't walk, because his leg was hurting. And that was the hardest thing for me.
On Monday, I asked DOC about the incident and was told Verdin had a contraband cell phone, ran from officers, smashed the phone, then lay down on the ground to be cuffed. The spokesperson specifically said there was no use of force, and although Verdin complained of some pain and discomfort, he was checked out by 2 different hospital staffs and cleared. I then asked for clarification on what cleared meant and was told Verdin had no injuries. After receiving several tips that the corrections officers involved in the incident had been suspended, I followed up with that question. DOC responded saying no officer/employees were placed on administrative leave due to this incident, as no such action was warranted, and reiterating that Verdin had no injuries.
Yeah, maybe they should lose their job.
According to Elayn, who obtained a copy of her son's discharge paperwork from the hospital, Torrance was given morphine at the clinic and a muscle relaxer to take back to the prison for his pain. The paperwork confirms his pain is the result of an assault, which paramedics who brought him in called an excessive use of force. However, besides the pain, it does not document any official injuries.
If he had no injuries, then why? Why did he not walk in his own 2 legs?
On Thursday, DOC announced Warden Donnie Bordelon and an unnamed corrections officer had been suspended due to a, quote, inappropriate use of force incident, which directly contradicted how the spokesperson for DOC had classified the incident in previous emails. Following that release, DOC and their attorney called to say the information they gave us at first was accurate with the knowledge they had at the time. But since then, more information surfaced, which led to the disciplinary action and new investigation.
They're not going to care. They're going to feel like, oh, we're going to get away with it.
Because Elayn says more than one officer beat her son, she believes more people need to be removed from their positions.
The warden's gone. But who's these other people? They're going to go to other jails and do it at other jails. No. If they know to ask for a blind spot, they've done it before, and they'll do it again.
The warden at Dixon Correctional, Dusty Bickham, will take over as head of Hunt until they can find a replacement. For the investigative unit, I'm Bess Casserly. Sylvia.